All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakwadash for the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the men of the Lord, prophesying, preaching, and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom Barakathum. And we have here quite a laughable situation here. You see, this is an article come out of RT. Esau is through, man. You know, this is wild. It says San Francisco will launch a program in October that pays people $300 a month to not commit gun crimes. Oh man, do you see how the wisdom and the light has just like left out of this place? You know, what kind of sense do that make to pay somebody to not commit a crime, man? That this place is upside down. It's backwards. You know, this is San Francisco, one of the most uh, wicked hotspots in Babylon. All right, completely confused, confounded. You know, floundering, skyrocketing cost of living, homeless population skyrocketing. All right, people are leaving there. There's all types of folly and alternative lifestyles. I'll say that. You know, there's that. This is the same place that said you won't even get you won't even get a ticket. You won't get anything but a ticket if you steal something for less than $1,000. All right, they just let you go free. They write you a ticket. You know, and now they're now they're doing this, man. This is wild. It says the program is called the Dreamkeeper Fellowship. Participants will have to pass an interview, and payments will be in the form of gift cards. Wow. Reducing gun violence is a primary goal of this program, but it is not the only goal. Another goal of the program is to adequately set up members of the community for positive change in their lives. And really, you jakes that go and do that shit, y'all niggas are dumb, man, because Esau is gonna put your ass on a list, on a registry. He's gonna track you, you know, better than what he's already been able to do because, you know, in the hood, you know, especially guys that deal drugs or whatnot, those are guys that are hardest to track, you know, because they don't keep the same phone number. They move around. They switch phones. They got burner phones. You know, they don't really go by their government name. You know, they don't really have a stable address. All right, so those guys are actually harder to track. So if you go in there to get a gift card from Esau, man, you niggas are dumb, man. It says reducing gun violence is the primary goal of this program, but it's not the only goal. Another goal of the program is to adequately set up members of the community for positive change in their lives. Like this devil gives, if he's ever given a damn about you, uh, setting up something positive in your life. The whole reason y'all out there slanging drugs is because of Esau. All right, he drove you out of the good parts of the neighborhood. He didn't build up your schools or any of the roads around the area. He didn't invest in any of the communities you were in. And then when y'all had to resort to theft and petty crime, he dropped drugs in the neighborhood. All right. And then what did he do after he dropped the drugs in the neighborhood? He passed this war on drugs uh, set of laws, set of legislation that was giving y'all 30-year mandatory minimums. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It says investing. Uh, so, like he says, this program hopes to help the community build a trusting relationship with the life coach to inspire long-lasting change. Now, I had one precept pulled up. I was gonna get 10 and Sirach 10:8, but since I was here, I believe it's 12:10. This guy's talking about building trust, and we know this scripture by heart. We bring it out all the time. It says, Sirach 12:10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." So, it just because you can't see rust on there, all right, you just have to give it time. Eventually, because it's made of metal, because the material that it's made of, all right, it's going to rust eventually. Period. You know, it's just a matter of time before you can actually see it. Okay. Let me go back. This guy, bro. Investing in the community improvements is incredibly important. Now you got to know this guy's up to something, man. What kind of sense does this make? Paying people not to commit gun crimes, man. And you know Esau's gonna be fighting each other over this, because this is government money. You're paying a bunch of niggas to not kill each other, when really you should just judge righteously, all right, on that matter. But we know that Esau doesn't believe, in the scriptures. He just pretends to, calls this a Christian nation, but all the while he's doing the complete opposite. This is Matthew 12 and 25. It says, "And Yahweh shall knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation." And this place is divided against itself, man. There's nothing but confusion, all right, and chaos. It says, "And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself." All right, because you got to be confused to go out and do something like this, man. All right. On one side, Esau is saying, you should lock people up in jail. Then on the other side, you got another bunch of Edomites saying, no, we shouldn't lock them up. We should pay them to not commit crimes. It says, "In every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand?" So this is basically like another sign that we're at the end of this thing, that this kingdom is getting ready to collapse. Because there's nothing but infighting, you know, especially after this guy, Donald Trump, got in office. This place is more polarized than ever, man. It's more divided, and it's not going to come back together. Okay, there's too much madness and chaos, and Esau is sowing too much folly into this place. Habakkuk 1 and 4, it says, "Therefore the law is slack, and judgment doeth never go forth. For the wicked do compass about the righteous, therefore wrong judgment proceedeth." And this is what happens when you let a bunch of undesirables get in office, city council positions, Senate, Congress, all every branch of this place. You got just just wickedness, man. And so what do you have? You have confusion. You have women out of order. You have dumb shit like this pop up. This how you know this place is done, man. And there's more guns than people in this place, man. Look, it says comments. "I can't stop laughing. LOL. Paying people for not committing crime. You're a laughing stock, man. The scriptures say we will have you in derision. The Most High is going to get the last laugh." It says it's like giving your child money just to clean his or her room or flushing his own poop. It says, so if we are now paying people not to commit crimes, should we stop paying the crooked politicians who keep committing them? Hey, they look. The scriptures say they will cause his own tongue to fall upon themselves. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get that. Let me see. I looked this up before. Let's believe this in Job. Oh yeah. Salakia. Psalm 64 and 8, it says, "So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away." All right, and this is very very common. This is just what you've seen on Comment Boys, but everybody's talking about this, man. At the dinner table, when they go out, when they talk to people at work, co-workers, all right, and all of their relationships, everybody's talking about the madness and how bad this place is gotten, man. He says, "What the WTF? You can pay me 300 to not commit any gun crimes. This is absolutely the stupidest idea I've ever seen. How will they ever know if you commit a crime?" All right. In that case, you might as well just pay everybody. you know. It says that's one way to have criminals in the database willingly, aka snitch on themselves, and that's what I was saying earlier. You know, but all in all, it's this the whole idea of it, it's folly, man. You know, I had Daniel 4:17, um, because this guy, you can see it now. Everybody thought this guy was a genius. He was the biggest, baddest, toughest guy on the planet. He was a genius. He knew how to he created all these technologies, but honestly, most of his technology it came from one really group of Edomites. When you do the research, it's basically the Germans. All right, who we teach are the Temanites. All right, who were the wisest among Esau. That German technology, during World War II, all the way from from the nuclear bomb development all the way to those all the way to jet planes. They even founded NASA, man. Going and creating those telescopes, going out in low Earth orbit, pretending to go to the moon. Because that's another subject. But they didn't go, man. There's no way. But uh, rocket science. So people talk about rocket science, biology. All of these they come from these German scientists. Most of it. Then you had a bunch of wicked uh, elites that had a bunch of money, you know, and mainly from oil and old money from slavery. They invested into all of that, and that's how that this modern military industrial complex came about. And that term came about around Eisenhower, I want to say, in the early '50s, and that's how this guy got his riches. That's how he got ahead. And he basically just kept funding more and more technology. But ultimately, it's the Most High that gave him the spirit to do that. You know, who put that spirit on him to drive him to spend so much money on weapons and technology. You know, but really at their core, these guys are base, man. There's no wisdom in this place. They took the money off the gold standard and ran the economy into the ground. Nothing is worth anything anymore. You know, they didn't invest in education. Most people don't even know how to hunt, fish, do anything. These people are dumbed down. They're stupid. They destroy their own food. They polluted their own water, the earth, everything. This is not a wise person that would allow this to happen. But because he's the basis uh, of men, the Most High chose them as an example of how not to rule, and that's written here in Daniel 4:17. It says, "The matter is by the decree of the watchers, and he demand by the word of holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men." So this is the Most High saying, "Look, I choose who's gonna rule and who's not gonna rule." You know, I can take the best on the planet, which is the Israelites, and I can subjugate them and make them the lowest on the planet. And he can, and then he said, I can take the basis of men, the men who are naturally the lowest, and I can put them above the top dog on the planet. The Most High that's him doing that. He says because it's to let everyone know I decide who rules. Because there's no way this guy would be ruling over us if things were to just happen naturally. They're not better at us at anything, but the Most High set it up this way. Um, Last precept, and I'll close out. This is Ecclesiasticus 10:8. It says, "Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another." All right, and that's what you're seeing happening right now. Because how they got this place It's all of what you see here: unrighteous dealings. All right, stealing people from the West Africa, bringing them over here, making them work hardcore slavery, torturing them, subjugating them, trying to break them, taking all the land of Gad, the Native Americans, so-called Native Americans, signing treaties and reneging on them, pitting tribes against each other. Those are unrighteous dealings. Those are injuries, and riches got by deceit because land is one of the basis of wealth. All right, and because you did everything that way, all right, instead of doing it the way Solomon did, King Solomon, all right, which is just ruling in wisdom, and he had other nations coming to him. You had other nations bringing us goods. King Solomon didn't have to go to the Queen of Sheba and say, "Give me your, give me your riches," like Esau did. No, she inquired of him. She came to bring him tribute. All right. So you didn't do things that way, man, because you're not designed to. All right. And so for that reason, this kingdom is translated from one people to another, and who's that people is going to get translated to? The Israelites. This is checkmate. This is it. All right. And once we get in rulership, that's a wrap, man. The earth is finally going to be at peace, and we're going to work your ass to the bone, to death. All right. And then we're going to do away with you, you know. So with that, hopefully our brothers were edified. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rakak Wadash, Wa Abab Ball Shalom.